Hello and welcome to Breakfast All Day. Christy and Alonso and Matt. Good to see you guys out there.
Hello.
Hi. So we are now going to move on to a movie we meant to get to last week. We're going to talk about it this week. It is on Netflix.
Hulu.
It is called Big Time Adolescence, and it stars Pete Davidson, being Pete Davidson. Matt, will you please describe it for us?
Pretty much. So Pete Davidson plays this guy who is dating this girl and after a while breaks up with her, but he remains friends with her much younger brother, who at the time we first meet him is probably 12, the younger brother, but stays friends with him for 5-6 years as he gets through high school. And they are still very close friends, which is kind of cool for the younger brother, but it starts to get a little weird for Pete Davidson. Although he doesn't think so, because
it should get weird for Pete Davidson.
Get weird, but he pretty much peaked in high school. Many times through this movie, I kind of expected him to make reference to McConaughey, all right. He's almost that same character, or that same mindset.
No, I watched it with him, and he said exactly that. He's the McConaughey character from Dazed and Confused, only sad instead of charming or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know that McConaughey's character is that.
No, okay, charming is not the word, but you know what I mean. He was at least self-possessed. I mean, and I think Davidson, to give credit here, is I think he's playing into a lot of what his public image is that doesn't necessarily reflect who he really is, but I think he is happy to sort of use our thought about what he's like and how he behaves and put it into this character in an interesting way.
Did you find anything interesting or redeeming about him at all?
Yeah, that's a part of my problem with this movie is that it doesn't ever quite land on a tone in terms of it is sort of funny and a lark at times, but then it also is sort of trying to be this kind of scoldy, you really need to grow up and get on with your life, but in such a way where it's duh, yes, obviously you should, and so I never hated the character. I don't think the movie ever completely villainizes him, but at the same time, it is sort of dude, come on, you're 23 and you're quitting your jobs all the time and you're hanging out with a high school kid and you're getting him to sell drugs and move on. You're better than this, Pete Davidson's character.
Yeah, one of the things, I get the appeal, especially at that age. I mean, even in your early 20s, that kind of character, it's similar. Another one that's kind of similar is Vince Vaughn's character in Swingers, right? Fast talking, kind of the smart ass, seems to be able to get away with everything, and very, very charming. But then but you when you really stop to think about it, you realize, oh, they're peaking right now.
Yeah,
and
there's no there.
As you mature, you realize that, oh, this person can't. They've not matured, and it was a little bit weird seeing a high schooler go through that kind of arc of a friendship with someone who is that older than them. Which that's not to say that doesn't work. Partly because the high school kid gets in such trouble being friends with Pete Davidson, but yeah, the tones are a little weird here. There's enough kind of laughs that Pete Davidson has in this that it didn't seem tedious, but it's a little forgettable.
Every once in a while, the Pete Davidson character surprised me. His name is Zeke, or he goes by Zeke. Every once in a while, he showed more sensitivity and depth than perhaps we expect from the outset, because he just seems like he just lives to get high and just dick around and play video games and do nothing and just get random tats. And there's a jackass kind of vibe to his existence and to his need to push it. And the movie shows glimmers of being interested in what else there might be to this character and shows the possibility of introspection. But then you're right, as Alonso says, it still has him wanting to hang out with this high school kid. Vince Vaughn in Swingers is a grown-ass man hanging out with grown-ass men. The whole thing with him being a kid, only one person realizes that that's weird, and that's John Cryer as the kid's dad.
Yes.
And he's, so we were talking about John Cryer earlier during our banana split conversation. Now he's the dad, and now he's the voice of reason. There is a bit of a squishiness to it. Jason Orley wrote and directed this. And when I mentioned the kid who...
Griffin Gluck.
Griffin Gluck is his little buddy. And yeah, the moments when the film showed some glimmers of depth and humanity to the Pete Davidson character, like that was more interesting to me than any kind of like intoxicating guilty pleasure thrills of hanging out with Pete Davidson and all his wildness.
Yeah.
I think like it sort of veers toward like Judd Apatow territory, but then it also sort of gets a little more, it tries to be more serious. I don't know. There's a tightrope that they're shooting for here that I don't think Jason Orley has quite nailed yet, but I do want to see what else he does, because I think these are interesting characters in and of themselves, and I like the easy kind of interaction and hang time that these guys have.
I think this would have been a better movie, a more interesting, more exciting movie as a vintage Adam Sandler movie.
Oh, yeah, because he did play that kind of character over and over again, like stunted.
Yeah, but like, you see glimmers of that in Billy Madison.
Mm-hmm.
But that could have been, I think that even just the short bits that Billy Madison touches on that ultimately like is more effective than most of this movie is.
But I do like Davidson though. I do want to give him credit. I think he's quite good here.
Yeah, I agree. He's good.
Okay, so what's your number then? I'm saying 6. I'm saying 6. Alonso, you say
all right, 6.
8, and Matt says 6. That means 6.3 for the three of us.
Yeah, right. I guess I liked it a little more than y'all, but it's it's not great, but worth a look, and it's on Hulu. You're home, check it out.
If you're home, where else are you gonna be?
What else you got going on? I don't know.
You're not going to the mall, and you're not going to the beaches in LA. That's for damn sure.
You are not going to the beaches in Southern California. Right? All right, thanks for watching. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us at BeFastAllDay on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and go check out our Patreon page where we have lots of fun extra content for our lovely, lovely subscribers, including a look at a couple of new HBO shows or new seasons anyway, Westworld and Plot Against America, and the show everybody's talking about, Netflix's Tiger King.
Woohoo!
We have things to say.
Woohoo!
Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Take care of yourselves. Bye.